Okay, now we're gonna do the same for the other two machines will be our Exchange server. We're gonna turn on this machine and the Exchange one, which we install Exchange server on it. Okay. Exactly here. I'll do the same again. Another. Accept. Start. And the Exchange. This is going to be like DC1, which like server 01, and Exchange we're going to be like the server 02. Exchange 1, we're going to install the downloaded Exchange 2010 on it, and the DC1 we're going to install the Active Directory and the DNS as is. The only different here, only the domain name is different according to the book, and the IP instead of 192.168.0.1 is going to be 10.10.0.10, and the 10.10.0.10 is going to be also the DNS for the domain controller, and for the Exchange is going to be 10.10.0.20. So almost similar to the other one. You can choose any country, no problem, whatever. Next, for I accept and the 180 evaluation. Then after that, instead of logging with the user, we did that before with the server, we're gonna log into with the administrator, and I'm gonna type the administrator password, gonna create it. Of course, we know that Control Alt Delete point, and we're gonna insert login with. It says here you have to type the password, so we're gonna use a password. Sorry, something wrong with the password. That is me. Now it has been successfully changed. The same for the Exchange server machine. I call it Exchange server machine because it's already prepared for that. It has been cloned for that. Administrator also asks for to create a password for it. قلت مش عايز صوت. Now in the VDC, since we are already logged on with administrator, so we can now, as I mentioned, we configure the network card with the same procedure also. So it's like a repetition. Right click, properties, remove IP6, work with the IP4. The IP will be, instead of 192, it's gonna be here 10.10.0.10, tab with the 255.0.0.0, and the DNS 10.10.0.10. Sorry, this is gonna be our DNS server. After that, we can change the name of that. It's still work group. It will be domain after we install the Active Directory. Change it. Let's call it according to the book, van-dc. Okay. يا حيوانة. It says I must restart because I changed the name here. And for the Exchange here, this one, the Exchange server, will be the same procedure exactly. Still shutting down. This one still booting up, preparing the desktop. Now it is N. I'm waiting for the startup screen. So yes, I can change here the IP. This is the X1. Okay, click properties, remove IP6, work with IP4, sorry, 10, sorry, 10, 10, 0, this is 20, and here the DNS is gonna be 255, 255, 255, 0. I'm sure I didn't do that. I can correct it on the other lab. 10, 10, 0. Of course, this is 10 according to my DNS server. Then I can go now and change the name. Still, there's a work group. We didn't create any domain yet. van-ax 1. Let's call it 1 because we have the x1 and have x2. Restart now. And for the DC, now come here to the point. Administrator, of course, to save the time. Password. Okay. And I can correct the subnet mask now. Type the subnet mask. Properties. IP4. Come on. 255, 255, and that's it. This doesn't require any rebooting. Then we go to DC promo to install the Active Directory. It shouldn't ask us for any administrative password or privileges or something because we already logged in with the administrator credentials. We're just waiting until this is finished. وطي صوتك يا بنت انت وهي. مريم وطي صوتك يا بنت انت وهي. Okay, after installing the Active Directory and the DNS, we didn't finish the DNS and the DC1, so let's finish it. That's for the lookup, if you remember that. Yeah. Password, oh sorry. Then we're gonna run some commands on the DC, the domain controller, and install the file of Exchange on the EX1. but we have to join exe1 first to the domain. Before doing that, we have to make sure the IPs are okay and the name has been changed correctly for both of them. Domain, yes. vvan dc, yes. Yes, for this one, let's check the IP if it is right. And let's go to the DNS administrative tool. DNS should be there now. Yes, DNS is here. Let's check the IP now here. Right click on local area network, status, details. Yeah, because of the DNS as we made before, see 127.0.0, it should be, this is DC1, yes, the command controller should be 10 0 10. This number 1, number 2, we add the reverse lookup. Right click on the reverse, new zone, next, primary to all, IP4 not IP6. It will be 10 10 0. Let's try now ns loop ns lookup, ten 0 10, and the server is not yet. So let's, after we do this and flush ipconfig /flush DNS, something like updating the DNS, so we have to flush it first, then we register it, register DNS. Yeah, let's check the NS lookup. Yeah, now it's done. Now we need the EX, the Exchange server. Is it joining the domain or not yet? Let's see if it is a work group or joining the domain. Administrator to join the domain immediately. Password. All we're gonna do is just run 5 or 6 commands on that domain controller and install on the Exchange server the Exchange server file. So it's still a work group, so we're gonna join the domain now. For the exe1 domain, it's, what's our domain on the DC? Let me remember, it is adatum, yeah, .com, adatum.com. Administrator, so no one can join except that administrator. Password. Is it working or not? Let's check that. For administrator, password. Now it joined. It was a password, spelling mistakes, typing mistakes, typo error as they call it. And now we go to the DC1. Okay, then we run the command prompt and we run these commands to prepare the domain controller to be prepared for the exchange. So the first command, it's gonna be setup slash prepare schema, prepare schema, wait here, schema. So now it's working. The point that I was not directing or typing the setup slash prepare schema in the directory where we downloaded the file of Exchange and the file is extracted. So after we download the file of Exchange, we need to extract it into certain folder. I named it Exchange and it's into the Humber folder. And now the setup has been cancelled. Why cancelled? Maybe let's try again. Press any key to cancel. So you don't have to touch any key by any way. So because if you touched any key even by mistake, maybe like I did now, it will be interrupted and it will be cancelled as well. Copying setup file. So I think PC were detected. Setup will continue. Preparing change setup. I think this is the first one. So we go to the next order, which we are in the same directory, which is setup slash prepare ed active directory slash organization name colons a datum org. Again, don't touch any key by mistake, leave everything as is. All these commands are run from within the domain controller, which has the DNS as well. After we finish these commands, we're gonna move copying setup files done. The third command, we're gonna type setup slash prepare all domains. Okay, so after you finish all these installation, you're gonna move to the Exchange server and double click on the installation of Microsoft Exchange. So this one is finished. So now we're gonna move to Exchange and make sure, let's log into this one. With administrator. But see, here is van-ex. It's not to the domain. We have to make sure it is from the domain. Yes, add datum. So add administrator and the password. And of course you can disable the administrator account and create another one like we did in the server in order to avoid any hacking by anyone using the administrator privileges or trying to guess the password. Then you can access the server and log into your server. Is incorrect. Why? Sorry, there's spelling mistakes here. Let's type it again. Now it is N. I hope this exchange has joined the domain after we restarted. We're gonna check that after it is started. Let's check now. Yes, now it is joined. Now let's see if the folder which has the exchange is already shared with us or not. If it is not shared and it's not network mapped, so you have to make it network mapped. So here, even if we forgot any, no, it's not network map, so we have to share it. How to share it? We go to the exchange server, right click, settings, we go to options and share the directory. Share does not enable. Always share, we have the music there. We add browse, we add the folder which has the sharing. No, number exchange. Oh, just make this one, the entire one. I might need it. Okay, finish. So now it is shared. Now, yes, I can log into the folder. I can access the folder, and I can access and install the exchange normally. We browse the folder. Here's the setup. Yes, we click on the setup. Click on the setup. This is the setup folder. Extraction complete. Exchange server installer. Okay. Now it is preparing the Exchange server. Just we're gonna check some points, then we leave it to be installed. It is install, planning, installation, install, enhance. Okay, we'll go to Exchange server. install .NET first. Then after we install the .NET, C, we install the Microsoft